Hi, my name is Coldbeer and let's start with Gloomhaven. First, this was made as a tabletop game, and as it reached incredible popularity, it was remade into a video game as well. It has all the features of dungeon crawlers like Darkest Dungeon, but stands out of the rest with a cool twist of 3D setting. So here you will lead your band of mercenaries through this unforgiving place where every move is crucial. Yeah, you sneeze, you die. No, probably not, but you get the point. You will have to carve your way through dungeons, forests and dark caves filled with horrific monsters to reap your rewards, or die trying, possibly the latter, over and over again. People are talking that this game will surprise you with the amount of unique monsters, high replay value and 100 hours of content, but it can scare you away with its very steep learning curve. Othercide. Here you will lead your army of female warriors to battle. Your skill in combat will decide their fate, shape their abilities and personality. So under your command, they probably just die angrily in pain and agony. Anyway, jokes aside, like in all turn-based games, here you will have to plan your moves carefully, because one wrong action can lead your party to failure. Although the game offers cool mechanics where you can sacrifice one to heal another, survivors will get stronger, ready to fight the next battle. The bad news is that the game practices permadeath, so by sacrificing warriors, you are like sacrificing them for real. And the elephant in the room is, of course, the visuals of the game. Only black, white and red color palette exists here and makes this game stand out from other similar projects. Gears Tactics. The game easily stands in one line with XCOM titles in a sense of quality and provided entertainment. Great graphics, cinematics and really interesting encounters had me pinned on my chair for hours and hours. Usually when I install turn-based games I get bored really quickly, either because the game seems too simple, too boring or just too hard. But for me, Gears Tactics is in the perfect Goldilocks zone in terms of difficulty and fun, and it kept my interest alive for hours. I can assure you that the quality of this game is as high as possible, but I have to stress out that I am a casual player. I don't like very difficult games, so if you are a true professional of turn-based titles, it may not be for you. But on the other hand, I could even recommend this game for people who have never played any turn-based games. Gears Tactics may become a gateway drug for you. You know, like potato salad can become a gateway to the world of other salads. Oh yeah, I know a lot of recipes. We'll definitely share them on my Adventures channel one day. Anyway, for me this game rocks and rolls and is great in general, like the best Dr. Sausage in the juiciest potato salad. Expeditions Viking. Game description says, a small band of Norse warriors lands on the shores of England. History may have forgotten their names, but their actions live on. Well, as I always say, the actions Vikings made in real-life England involved a lot of pillaging and other crimes, like, you know, killing. So romantic and songs-worthy. Anyway, here as the newly appointed chieftain of a modest Viking clan, you'll have a village of your very own. But to carve your name into the runestones of history, you'll need great strength and great wealth to grow your village's prosperity. There is little left to be gained from the Norse lands, and so you must set your sights on the seas to the west, where tales speak of a great island filled with treasure and slaves ready for the taking. Game has a very positive review score on Steam, but there are also quite a few comments saying that the game is a bit too slow, you know, just like your sister. Endless Legend. Here you will evolve your civilization through discovery and new advanced technologies. You will keep one step ahead of the other 8 civilizations by trade and diplomacy, or eradicate your puny enemies with the help of unit equipment, abilities and the terrain to overcome the challenges using your humongous IQ. The game has quite high replayability because of randomly generated worlds and quests. You can set the size, shape and topography of your new world and even create new civilizations. Also, all existing ones really differ from one another and have authentic mechanics. By the way, Endless Legend is not computer power hungry, it runs quite smoothly even if you have a potato PC that is below minimum requirements. People on Steam are saying that Endless Legend is a wonderful game with a great atmosphere, lore and mechanics, but it also eats your time in huge amounts, so be sure you have it. Wasteland 3 Colorado Collection. I will say bluntly, if you like tactical turn-based games, this RPG here is a must-play. It's not a recommendation or something, but the law. You must play it if you want to go, you know, to game hell after your death. Anyway, this version of the game includes both the Battle of Steeltown and Cult of the Holy Detonation expansions, as well as the Colorado Survival Gear bonus items. And the game itself is a wonderful gem for all Fallout, Baldur's Gate and all turn-based combat fans. In Wasteland 3 you will travel to the frozen wastes of Colorado to deal with gangs, cults and psychopathic clowns in effort to bring stability to the Wastes. Or, you know, as always, even more chaos and even more psychopathic clowns. Yeah, not like in real life, your decisions really matter and the world will change according to your actions and reactions. Age of Wonders Planetfall. Emerge from the cosmic dark age of a fallen galactic empire to build a new future for your people, or, you know, ruin everything even more. Here you will build your kingdom with one of 6 unique factions, ranging from militant vanguard to the dinosaur-riding Amazons, cyborg zombies, and unicorn raccoon kittens of despair. Well, maybe not the latter, but I assure you that the diversity of units is really nice. Here you'll progress through each faction's missions using your wits, military strength, and diplomacy. Explore planetary ruins and encounter other survivors as you unravel the history of a shattered civilization. Game has a really nice single-player campaign and a random skirmish maps. You can play the game alone or dive into multiplayer battles and feel the shame of defeat. Overland. This is a survival strategy game which takes place in a not-so-distant future where a cataclysm completely devastated the North American continent. You will lead a constantly changing group of survivors who, traveling by car, are trying to reach their destination point, and survival plays a crucial role in the game. You will be forced to make difficult decisions and face constant shortages of gas, supplies and ammo. However, the biggest threat you will have to face are the monsters using hearing to hunt down their prey. In other words, they hunt you. Also, you will have to save dogs here. There are a lot of dogs in this game. Divinity Original Sin 2. Made by the same studio now working on Baldur's Gate 3, this is one of the best RPG games ever created. Overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam can confirm that with ease, and people in the comment section are openly saying that this may be the best game they ever played in general. But, you know, you shouldn't trust people that easily. Once my good friend said that you can't drink beer instead of water, cause it's not the negativity I want in my life. We are not friends anymore. Also keep in mind that this is a serious game for adults. It has a dark and gloomy world and sexual content. But don't worry, it will keep your virginity as strong as ever. Original Sin 2 will take about 200 hours out of your boring life, and that is really amazing because every minute of it is really entertaining. Expeditions Rome. This is an indirect sequel of Expeditions Viking and it has already accumulated a very positive review score on Steam. So here you can create your own Roman legacy, customize your character's look, gender, class and skills to match your playstyle and role-playing fantasy. Although I doubt that you will find a slider for a ding-dong size, like we have in Cyberpunk. That would be a pleasant surprise. So here, as in the prequel, you will engage in tactical turn-based combat powered by an extensive skill-based action system, where every weapon changes your potency on the battlefield. This is a great game for the people who like to use the tiny organ between our ears. People on Steam are saying that this is an interesting, a bit underrated RPG game that takes a huge amount of time to beat, but gameplay almost never gets boring. Fantasy General 2. A candy for everyone who likes classic turn-based games like Heroes of Might and Magic, Civilization or Age of Wonders. Here you will lead over 75 different unique unit types, including powerful heroes. You will have to take into consideration terrain, weapons and armor, magical effects, morale and the balance of forces in general. You will need to think of a great plan, execute it and vanquish your puny pathetic enemies, forging your reputation as savage war leader. People on Steam are saying that this is one of the coolest 4X games, but also it has kinda predatory DLC politics. You know, if you want to play more races and so on, you will have to buy expensive expansion packs. In any way, the price for the base game is kinda nice, so think about it. Hard West 2. You are a notorious outlaw with a dangerous reputation. On the hunt for a big score, you hear talk that a ghost train filled with federal gold is heading your way. So you swiftly assemble some cool people with cool guns and a few of them with even cooler supernatural powers. Sounds cool, huh? Well, the train is called Ghost Train for a reason. No spoilers though. It is a non-linear turn-based strategy game that is filled with puzzles to the brim. Instead of a traditional level-up system, the game relies on acquiring equipment and cards. So you build a poker hand to power up your team members. Hard West 2 has several difficulty levels, up to 6 team members and many other cool features, but voice acting isn't too great. Also, the game isn't optimized very well, so the game score on Steam always fluctuates between mostly and very positive. For Triumph. This is a hybrid between Heroes of Might and Magic and traditional XCOM-centric games, meaning that you have a large world map where you can free roam and search for various treasures, and the battle map where all the action is happening, and there you can actually utilize your surroundings. Every tree or boulder is a potential weapon in battle, so here you will lead a band of heroes with different skill sets through a witty and funny fantasy plot. Yeah, the game doesn't take itself seriously, but that sometimes can be repulsive for more serious players. The game looks and feels like a cartoon, but the difficulty is not childish, believe you me. I played it on normal and it felt like a nightmare. Although if you were used to getting free games from Epic, check your library, you may already have it. Mordheim, City of the Damned. Set in a Warhammer world's decimated Empire City, this is a turn-based tactical game where you lead warbands into bloody and lethal skirmishes. The game blends RPG elements, fast-paced tactical combat, and unit customization. The story of the game revolves after an event when a twin-tailed comet crashed on Mordheim. The City of Damned turned into a terrifying battlefield where rival warbands fight fiercely for the control of key neighborhoods, looking for glory and fortune by acquiring the very valuable comet fragments. You will loot items and weapons hidden in the ruins or take those from the puny bodies of your dead enemies. People on Steam are talking that the game is slow but hard. It has some minor bugs, it's not flawless by any means, but for this price you can't argue. It's a great deal for any XCOM style game fan. Shadowrun Returns. Magic has returned to the world, awakening powerful creatures of myth and legend. Technology here merges with flesh and consciousness. Elves, trolls, orcs and dwarves walk among us, while ruthless corporations bleed the world dry. Here you are a Shadowrunner, a mercenary living on the fringes of society in the shadows of massive corporate arcologies, surviving day by day on skill and instinct alone. When the powerful or the desperate need a job done, you get it done, by any means necessary. Or, you know, fail miserably and try again. People on Steam are saying that this is a solid strategy RPG that scratches the itch for games like Baldur's Gate or Divinity Original Sin. Also great for Fallout and Wasteland fans. Shadowrun Returns has around 90% of positive reviews, so if you like games like that, it's a real no-brainer for this price. Songs of Conquest. For everyone who hopes this game to be another Heroes of Might and Magic 3, I have good news. This actually is another Heroes of Might and Magic game, literally. It's an honest clone made in pixel art style. When I played it, I had the feeling that if you gave the same task of
"Please make Heroes 3"
to two different teams, then Songs of Conquest could be the alternative pixel art Heroes 3 we never had. Until now, so is it a modern game filled with novelties and originality? No. Is it a nostalgic, really beautiful alternative Heroes 3 game we actually want? Yes. Yes, it is. Although, if you are allergic to pixels, it's not for you, avoid. You know, even if you like the art style, like I do, sometimes you want to zoom in so you could look at the creatures, at their features, but then you realize that you just zoomed in on a bunch of colored squares and you can't even tell where the head or its butt is anymore. Also, Songs of Conquest have no town screens. I think it's the biggest flaw. I want my town screens, I can't do anything about that, but in general, this is a great game. Star Renegades. This is a tactical RPG strategy game in which you command members of a rebellion fighting an evil empire. The game focuses on missions which usually consist of battles with intelligent and constantly evolving opponents. Quests are randomly generated, which in combination with the constantly evolving enemies makes the game a little different each time you play. It gets more challenging and death is something inevitable. The members of your team form friendships and even deeper relations which can result in a child. He or she will join your ranks as another unique character, so you can literally breed more heroes here. Breed, yeah, that's the right word. For the King. If you took Heroes of Might and Magic and crossbred it with some children's book with big pictures in it, you would get For the King. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of a better comparison, but it's quite accurate. For the King is a strategic RPG that blends tabletop and roguelike elements in an adventure that spans over the realms. You can play it alone or cooperatively both online and locally. Here every playthrough is made unique with procedurally generated maps, quests, loots and events for you to participate in. Between playthroughs you can purchase weapons, items, NPCs, classes, events, and so on. It has roguelite replayability implemented, and this time it's kinda cool. You know, except the fact that you will die a lot. Yeah, that's what roguelite is all about. Dying and then getting better because of that. People on Steam are saying that the game is very addictive, and you can be killed by a skeleton named Boner. Let that sink. Stolen Realm. The game has a simultaneous team turn system implemented for faster combat and character scaling, meaning that no matter how many people will join you on your quest, the overall difficulty of the game will stay the same. Here, more than 240 skills in 8 distinct skill trees, 500 items and fun rewarding activities will keep you entertained. Game is in early access, but it already has very positive reviews, so it's a great sign. People are talking that the game is really enjoyable, but best if played in a group of 2 to 4 people. For example, I don't have this amount of friends, so I will skip it and keep my virginity strong with other games, but if you have a buddy or two, invite your both mothers-in-law and have fun together. And after that, of course, you can try this game. Urtuk The Desolation. This is a dark fantasy tactical turn-based RPG. Here you'll guide your band of adventurers through the ruins of an ancient world in order to, bring your own order and punish the rest. You will recruit new followers, loot the corpses of your fallen foes, and do the best to survive in this harsh and unforgiving realm. Here you'll find a procedurally generated survival campaign, will extract upgrades directly from your fallen enemies, and enjoy detailed hand-drawn characters. At the moment of writing this overview, the game had 90% of positive reviews on Steam, so in my opinion, incredibly high score. People are talking that Urtuk has a very nice variety of units, entertaining synergies, and is light on the story in a good way. Wartales. It has been 100 years since the world saw the fall of the once great Edoran Empire at the hands of an unprecedented plague that swept the nation. So prepare to lead a group of characters in a huge open world where combat, death, and thirst for riches will shape and define your day-to-day life. You are not a special chosen one ushering in a new era of peace. Nah, your goal is solely to survive, well, and thrive in this harsh and hostile land. From the most insignificant petty thieves to the land's most notorious figures, there is no such thing as a profit too small to take. You can recruit from the vast array of new companions with numerous unique skill sets and weapon preferences, resulting in a plethora of possible builds. You will accept contracts that will take you on a task to defend, liberate, and save the many inhabitants of the land for money. You are not hero, remember? Also here you will be able to collect bounties, from the most insignificant pathetic thieves to the land's most notorious figures. There is no such thing as a profit too small to take. Very wise words, probably many times spoken by Quark from Star Trek Deep Space Nine. King Arthur, Knight's Tale. This is a cool hybrid between turn-based games like XCOM and traditional character-centric CRPGs. You'll find diverse battle maps where you will have to position yourself to avoid shield walls and flank your enemies. Also use covers against archers, make use of the terrain, hide in the foliage, and surprise your enemies with your endless wisdom. Knight's Tale is a modern retelling of a classic story with a heavy touch of dark fantasy tropes, a twist on the traditional tales of chivalry, and a bearded wizard with a friendly smile. You will encounter nothing like that here. Knight's Tale is grimdark and really refreshing on your eyes, tired from all these colorful games nowadays. Although keep in mind that all your characters are expendable, and if they die they will stay dead forever, meaning that the game is leaning to the hardcore and may not be very easy for you. Stirring Abyss. This is an indie tactical squad-based game with strong RPG elements. Here you'll uncover the ancient mysteries of the oceans depicted in the classic style of Lovecraftian horror. You take charge of the surviving crew of a submarine that sinks while on a top-secret research mission during the early years of the Cold War. You find yourself surrounded by the ruins of a forgotten civilization, and your vessel is too badly damaged to escape the seabed. You slowly unravel all the mysteries of the depths in a desperate quest to rescue your missing crew members and fix the crippled submarine. The choices you make determine the fate of your crew and the entire world. People on Steam are saying that here XCOM meets Cthulhu, and that is all you need to know. If you are in doubt, you can play free demo version. Wildermyth. Game has overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam, meaning that it is close to a masterpiece and it is blasphemy to ignore it. So like the best tabletop role-playing experiences, this game gives you choices and answers your every decision with consequences that drive your characters forward. The best thing is that all heroes here will die someday. Yeah, that is probably not the best thing, to be honest, but here you'll get to hold on to your favorites, reintroduce them in the next adventure, and over many lifetimes you create your own legendary pantheon. This game is truly great. Third Age of Wonders game. This franchise, along with the Heroes of Might and Magic, is one of the most beloved among turn-based strategy fans. Here you can choose one out of 6 classes and try to conquer and enslave the other 5. That won't be easy, except if you play on easy, then it will be easy. Here you'll find many unique and well-known skills and monsters, multiplayer mode, many races to choose your allies from, also level editing tools and countless unique scenarios you will make by yourself using random map generator. Although I must say that Age of Wonders is fun to play, but it doesn't feel very balanced. The game emphasizes warfare and exploration, but doesn't give you enough resources to actually do these things without waiting forever. You know that feeling in Heroes games where you just wanted to buy a black dragon, but you had no money, so you skipped several turns so you could finally afford it. But then Monday came, the population grew, and you felt short with your money again. Age of Wonders invokes the same feeling over and over again. Still a wonderful game. Might and Magic 10 Legacy. If you have played Might and Magic RPG games before, you know very well what they are, and this title is a classic game made with a modern graphic engine. Although you can't freely roam around, you move in tiles and fight monsters that are placed on your path just like you do in The Legend of Grimrock and many other dungeon crawlers, meaning that games like Might and Magic 7, which was released in 1999, had more freedom, because in there you could move in any direction. So this is a blast from the past and definitely a game not for everyone, but I can guarantee that every classic dungeon crawler lover will be satisfied. Phantom Doctrine. I think most of you have never heard about this title. You'll get more than 40 hours of single-player campaign, featuring a rich plot with numerous historical events and characters to bring the terrifying reality of the Cold War to life. So basically this is an XCOM game, but instead of aliens you have spies. Mostly positive review rating is because of the flaws in the mechanics, and for various glitches, for example when hidden bodies miraculously disappear, just like your money on every Steam sale. But people who liked the game liked it very much. I found several reviews with about 200 hours of game time, and that is impressive, meaning that this may be a hidden gem for any turn-based game lover, and today the price is just right. XCOM 2. What can I say? A legendary classic that cannot be excluded from any list like that. 20 years have passed since world leaders offered an unconditional surrender to alien forces. XCOM, the planet's last line of defense, was left decimated and scattered. Now the aliens rule Earth, building shining cities that promise a brilliant future with lots of potato salad for humanity, but at the same time concealing a sinister agenda and eliminating all who dissent from the new order. No potato salad for them. All you have to do is to regain control of the Earth. It may sound easy, and it is, because you are awesome and aliens suck balls. Show them who's the boss. Invisible Ink. You'll control the secret agents, and with their help you will infiltrate the world's most dangerous corporations. Stealth, precision and teamwork are essential in high-stakes, high-profit missions, where every move may cost you your life. You will start with one of the 10 unlockable agents, plus 6 agent variants and 6 starting programs to crack corporate security. Locations, threats and loot are randomly generated, so each playthrough is different. People on Steam are saying that the game is criminally underplayed, so I'm spreading awareness and letting you know about it. The game is kinda old, but ticks all the boxes if you like the genre in general. Invisible Ink has more than 90% of positive reviews, left by about 5,000 players who bought it. Warhammer 40,000 Mechanicus. Take control of one of the most technologically advanced armies in the Imperium, the Adeptus Mechanicus. Here you lead the expedition on the newly rediscovered planet and will try to seize the power. You can customize your team, manage resources, discover long-forgotten tech and control your tech priests every move. People on Steam are saying that this game is highly addictive, well written and can be appealing not only for Warhammer fans but also for simple folk that never even heard the word. I doubt the last one, but it's really hard to find any negative feedback. More than 90% of the reviews are positive, so really close to overwhelmingly positive title. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, there are plenty of other Steam Summer Sale videos in my channel, don't miss them out. Have a nice day, bye!